Uh, I think again, there's times that that you do use performances and challenges for your group, and I would say that we've tried to look at the last grouping of games, not specifically this one tonight. We looked at the Detroit game and then the LA game, and we knew that those were going to be tough opponents. And now we've had a day to breathe a little bit, and we get another tough one, maybe the toughest one of them all here tonight.
What makes Nazem a guy that can match up against the Zetterbergs, the Kopitars, and kind of gets last of the league?
Well, I don't want to anoint him like you seem to have done already. I'd like to take it slow, a little bit slower than some people, I guess, would. I think we're experimenting with Nazi right now. I think, again, the combination of the three, being it if it's Winnick, if it's Lupul, with Santorelli and Nazi is more what we're looking at versus just Nazi and one guy against, because I don't think that we'd be standing here and telling the truth if we said that we were going to do that all year, or we're going to do that in the summer and say we're going to do it for the start of the season. Nazi's done a heck of a job for us. We want to take that away from him. He's still a young player that is cutting his teeth and finding ways to be more responsible, and that's what we've asked him to do.
Randy, can you talk a little bit about Peter Holland's progression since he's joined your organization and what you've done with him to get him to the next level?
Well, Peter Holland, I have a longer history with him, being that he was in Anaheim when I was there. He was their first-round selection. And Peter was a guy that always was able to provide offense, whatever level he played at. And the one thing that struck him and us here is that he wasn't going to be afforded that opportunity right away here. Simple as that. So we have to find other ways for him to make a complement to your lineup. And we've moved him in from the fourth line up to the third line, or sometimes the second line role with offensive players. Right now we've played him with Lupul and Clarkey here the last little while. And we think that line should be able to provide offense with those three players. And I think the first thing that we've always tried to instruct with Holly is to be around the puck more, beyond the puck. We know he can provide offense. We just want him to make sure that he's on the puck. And when he has the puck, he's got to make plays and move his feet. He's got to be responsible defensively. And the biggest area for us right now is concerned would be faceoffs. Faceoff circle has got to be something that he's at least 50% in.
I think it was after the first Detroit loss, there was a comment you made about maybe not having Cadby matched up against Zetterberg as much. From that point to kind of now, what has he done defensively that makes him, not a pure matchup guy, just more defensively sound?
Well, I guess you'd have to say he's deep in his own zone. He's not flying the zone, and we've always talked, and that I think you'll talk about Nazi as a guy that likes to play east-west more than north-south. And he can create time and space himself, but we'd like him to play the north-south game as much as possible because we feel that that's the way the game is trending. The teams that play north-south are playing fast. They're up and down. Their D-men are involved. They're pinching the walls. It's more of a pressure game all over the ice. And with Nazi, we think that that's an area in which he can continue to improve on. His face-offs are another area. If we can start with the puck more, it's usually a benefit to your team at the end of the night. It might not show up in the first period, but it does show up over the course of the hockey game, the 60 minutes.
Randy, we've seen a couple of good performances from Morgan in the last two games. What is he doing when he's playing his best type of hockey?
I think, again, with young defensemen, we always try to look at their game, and when you don't notice them, usually that's the strength, because we all find that when mistakes are made, those are the most notable things. When they're making the good play and the right play, they're not as noticeable, so they play a seamless game. With Morgan, he's a skating defenseman. He's got to skate. He's got to get inside on people. He's a much bigger kid than you'd think. He's over 210 pounds, but yet he's only a 21-year-old hockey player. So we've got to be cautious in the way we handle him, and with him, I think that less is better right now, but to utilize his skating as his number one asset.
He's played 100 games now. Is that? The guys in the room are saying that it's almost like he's more established now. He's not that green rookie. Do you still think
100 games is, it's little, what it is. It's one season plus 20. That's the way I look at it. And I look at 300 games as far as a benchmark for young defensemen. I think that it's a toughest position, and they've made it tougher by not allowing the holdups that were in the game before. Now the forwards have a free rein to skate and put pressure on the defenseman in a puck retrieval situation, and everybody has some form of neutral ice play that they'd like to slow down the opposition skating, but you really can't do any holdups, and your schemes are very difficult to stop the forwards from getting strong on the forecheck.
Randy, your team's had decent success since you've been here in Toronto against the Ducks. There's a lot of connections in your lineup. Is it just another game, or is it human nature that the guys get up and play against the team they used to be with?
I think it's human nature. I think you always have special dates on the calendar, and I know it's special for me, being a former employee there and worked with the people there. But the one thing that's changed is there's only probably about 5 guys on the team that are holdovers from when I was there. So things change in the NHL, but there isn't a player that doesn't, or a coach that's not going to say that he doesn't want to beat his former team.
What's kept that Kessel line from spending so much time in the defensive zone?
I think it starts in the offensive zone. I think that at times they've been a one and out. They're a rush line that has to try to develop more of a puck possession game in the offensive zone. I think that that's more important than anything. It's 200 feet away from their net, and they've got to find ways to maybe stop up and not take the bad angle shot and get 2 guys caught or 3 guys caught. Those are the things that we're trying to provide them the information and the video, and I think that they're quality players that will find a way to do that. I just think right now they're in a little bit of a dry spell.